by yourselves. Mountain pose, pressing your feet into the ground, then close your eyes. On the other side of the mountain, he came to the cave. Jump the feet wide, lift your hands above your head.
Good job, man.
And the door opened. Coming down to your knees, take one leg out the side.
We do homeschooling because the schooling system for us and for our boys, it just wasn't really working out very well. Our oldest boy has ADD and our youngest boy has a bit of a stutter and just is just kind of nervous. So we do homeschooling, and it's crazy because Keegan, which is a younger boy, his stutter is basically gone because we just give him a lot of time and a lot of attention. And Josiah's ADD is a lot more under control because we started to work on basically meditation, but it's visualization. So instead of doing time out and being like, hey, go over there in that corner for 5 minutes, we're like, hey, go on your bed, lay down, hands on your chest or on your belly, and just close your eyes, take deep breaths, and just visualize what you want to do. Just visualize in your mind doing the thing that you want to do. And it's crazy because where he normally would just not do it, we pretty immediately saw some improvement. Now, we still have a long way to go, but the kid's 8 years old and he has ADD and we're not on any medication. So yeah, I think that's a really big win. And we're doing yoga and we're outside playing in the sprinklers yesterday. I mean, we're just doing a lot of fun activities because kids are supposed to move. They're supposed to use their brains and use their creativity. Like, in the past when we were going to school, we'd spend time with them. Like my wife and I, we'd be doing our own thing, and we still spend a lot of time outside and whatever. But we had a lot of technology time, lots of Netflix shows, playing video games, things like that. A lot more. Like basically, we had none of that stuff for a long time. No video games for years of their lives because we just don't really like it. But Netflix was a big thing since we don't have cable, and which also, if you guys will get rid of cable, you will get rid of so many crazy commercials that your kids are asking for things. We just do Netflix and we watch the things we want to watch whenever we want to watch them. But by keeping our boys home and my wife stays home, we're able to really, be the example that we want our kids to be, and really encourage them in their own growth, because each kid is different. Like Josiah is a totally rambunctious, outgoing personality, and Keegan is more introspective. Like he just thinks a lot more, and he'll go and play by himself totally fine, and like be in a little world that he created in his mind. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, if you have the opportunity to do homeschooling. We do like an online course that's $30 per child, and it's basically having an online teacher right there. And if they don't get something, then it's really easy for my wife and I just to listen to it, and then we understand what's going on, instead of my boys coming home, or Josiah, 3rd grade, coming home with tons of papers with nothing filled out because his ADD just prevented them to a certain degree. I hate using that word, and I hate thinking that things are controlling us, but realistically his ADD was making him just daydream a lot, and one of his teachers, his homeroom teacher, never knew his name. She called Josiah Josh almost every single day, and he's just a lover. He didn't care. He never corrected her. She would correct herself a lot of times, but he never corrected her because he didn't want to make her feel bad. My son, whose name is Josiah, his teacher would call him Josh, and he didn't want to make her feel bad, so he just was like, okay, that's okay, I know that she's talking to me. He's freaking amazing. And then the across the room teacher, she felt like, and she had some stuff going on in her life. She had recently moved, and you could just tell that she seemed like a hurting human being. It is what it is. But she hurt my son, and she would make him feel bad in front of the whole class. I'd come by in a loud enough voice for everyone to hear, like almost like peer pressure kind of a thing. Like, hey, you need to feel bad, and you need to feel the pressure of everyone knowing that you're not doing what you're doing to keep you focused. That works for some kids. It sure as hell doesn't work for my son. And it is what it is. Like, that's her teaching style. So, my wife stays home, and it's like, what the freak? Like, why are we not taking care of our boys ourselves? So it's been amazing. We're doing yoga in there, doing meditation and visualization. We're feeding them amazing food every single day. They're spending tons of time outside. Like, they're becoming little warriors, you know, but they're developing their own personality. So I'm done. I don't know how long this video is. This video is about 5.5 minutes. I'm done. But I just wanted to encourage you guys that if you have the opportunity to train your children, do it. If you have any questions, put comments down in the video, and I will answer any questions that you have. And if I can't, if I don't know the answer, then I'll either, put you to a resource, or I will try and find the answer for you. So anyways, homeschooling is amazing if you can do it. I know that there are some states that don't really allow it. We're in Texas, so Texas is a really, really, really easy and great state for homeschooling. It's basically like, hey, just make sure you're taking care of your kids. That's all it is. There's not a lot of government intervention, which is awesome. So yeah, that's it, man. Raising Leonidas. We're raising our boys to be princes and then eventually kings, Last little bit, if you don't understand the incredible opportunity that you have to train your children, if you don't realize how much influence you're supposed to have on your children, if you don't realize that your children are a byproduct of you, and if you don't like the things that your children are doing, it's your fault. I'm just going to come out and straight up say it. It's your fault. That's my opinion. Now, that's an opinion. You can definitely say that that's not true, and we can have a debate on that. That's perfectly fine. But I know that children come out of the womb absolutely moldable. Now, they have their own identity, they have their own personality, they have their own traits. Parts of science are figuring out that in the womb, the food that the mother is eating influences the baby big time, their development, their personality. The mother's mood, like anxiety, stress, happiness, joy, abundance, freedom, flexibility, anger, pessimism, all those things send signals to the baby, and the baby picks up on that. So it's insane how your babies are literally a product of you, and they're in this world totally vulnerable as babies, and they're literally, I keep on saying literally because it's true, they're just receiving the inputs that you give them, and that your family members give them, and your friends give them, and your environment gives them, and the school that they go to gives them, and the food, the gut bacteria in your gut. They figured out that there's a nerve or something that sends signals from the gut to the brain, and they've been able to figure out that your gut actually influences your mood and influences your mood, your happiness, your anxiety, your stress, your depression. It influences that stuff. Now, how? I don't freaking know, except that I know that there's a ton of bacteria in there, and if you're feeding it the good stuff, the good bacteria flourish. If you're feeding it bad stuff, the bad bacteria flourish. And there's a study that they did with mice, which it is what it is. I definitely don't like animals being tortured and things like that. This definitely doesn't seem like it's being tortured, but they took the feces, the poop, from a mouse that was happy and a mouse that was depressed, and switched them. And once they put the depressed mouse poops in the happy mouse poops, it became depressed. And vice versa. Like, how the heck does that happen? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But scientists are saying that this is what happened. And there's a lot of studies and a lot of research that would prove that. So it's the environment that we create for our kids. It's the stresses and anxiety and the feelings of being alone that help our kids to feel powerful and just brave, or feel alone and scared, So anyways, I hope that encourages you. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please put them below. I'm going to be putting videos out like this, maybe a couple times a week, maybe more. If this is anything that's beneficial to anybody, I hope it is. If it's beneficial to you, or if it's not beneficial to you, comment on it. And other than that, have a great day.